It's focused. What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Save Continue podcast. My name is Ryan Robinson. With me, as always, are Shanae Howard.
Hi.
Tom Shelby.
Hello.
Every week we get together, talk about video games and other shit. You may have noticed that things are a bit different now.
What?
We're trying a new setup, and we're gonna see if we like it. Tom, don't flate the bottle on the camera, bud.
I'm sorry, it was spilling out.
It's just dripping all over you, too.
All over my wiener.
Yeah?
Is it cold?
Oh, hell yeah, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what's new, what's up, what's going on?
Not a lot, really. So, unfortunately, I've not had much time to play video games this week.
Sure.
Because I've been trying to get all of this ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Dude, literally almost nothing.
Played a little.
Not even Shadow?
A little bit of Shadow, right?
No, I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus for a couple of weeks, actually, since I started Nier Automata.
Oh, okay.
But I am planning to get back into it. Probably this week I'll do a full playthrough, either on Twitch or just for the YouTube. I haven't decided yet.
I can't believe I forgot that you're playing Nier. Have you played that in the past few days?
Very, very little.
Yeah.
Very little. But I'm almost done with the first ending. Of course, I want to get all the not all the endings, but all the major endings, which is like 5 times. So we'll see how that
It'll
goes.
get easier as time goes on.
You got it
It will.
to do it 5 times?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's not super long. Like, each playthrough isn't super long. But yeah. I also just wanted to say, like, let us know what you think about all this, because we're going to be changing formats. I mean, this will be the last thing to air. So you've already seen, at this point, the newscast and what we are replacing Check It Out with.
Yeah.
Which we don't exactly know at this point.
We'll figure it out.
But we'll figure it out
No,
today.
we know. He's lying. He just wants to create mystery.
No, I mean, we've had other discussions too, without you.
No. They don't have to know we don't know things.
We're waiting on a boom pole, so sound will be slightly better next week.
Yeah.
Apologize for that.
It's funny because I mentioned that Onion article that I read like a couple of years ago about the podcaster who constantly promised the quality would improve.
Yeah. I feel like ours has.
Yeah, well,
steadily.
it's funny because we make good on the promise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it started out on an iPhone, right?
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
It was funny because that was like the first, how many, like 5, 6 episodes was on the iPhone.
Something like that. Those are gone now.
Yeah, forever.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to go back to those.
Shanae, is the gameplay distracting you?
Yeah, sorry. That was my bad.
You want me to turn that off?
No. It was just ADD kicking in.
I'll go ahead and turn it off.
No. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll control myself.
Actually,
It's been a challenge for me.
Shanae's like, Burnout looks really fun.
No, actually,
I know.
Those episodes still exist on the internet.
Where?
They were uploaded to the YouTube.
Yeah, but that YouTube's gone.
Oh shit. Then yeah, they're gone.
And if you go to savecontinuepodcast.com, those are gone as well.
We can do the Wayback Machine.
I think I still have access to the Dropbox we use. They might be in there.
Maybe. But we didn't delete a whole lot of stuff out of that.
I did here or there.
Yeah.
It became a necessity,
Sure.
so we wouldn't have to pay the money.
Yeah, because we had like a 2 GB limit. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I haven't been playing much. Hoping to play a lot of Nier this week.
Later today, definitely gonna get on that Vermintide 2. So.
Yeah, so about that, like, you seem excited for Vermintide 2, and like I remember when I got Vermintide, I was like, Ryan, you should play this game with me, and you seemed not interested at all.
I wasn't.
So why the sudden change?
playing
Because this looks more fun.
What were you playing at the time?
It looks like more of the same.
What was I playing at the? I don't remember what I was playing at the time.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
When was that? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. It just looks more fun. I don't know. I just do things, Tom.
Sure.
Shanae, what have you been up to?
Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm. Which one are you playing?
I'm almost done with 1.
Yuck.
Yeah. I've been having a lot of frustrations.
Why?
My own ineptitude.
How's that? Are you a bad gummy ship pilot?
Oh god, I'm so glad I'm done with the gummy ship parts and I can just warp drive to stuff. I hate the gummy ship.
I haven't played that game in about 15 years, but I remember hating
The gummy ship was
parts.
the worst part. Um, I am not. I'm not super great at Kingdom Hearts. I've played it a lot, but I always feel like I'm just not that great at it. When I watch people who are much better at it, it's the same thing.
What do you not feel like you're great at?
Yeah, like what's the metric
It's the
that
same
you're
thing with
using?
Super Mario Odyssey. Like
Because it's like square, 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 pretty much, you know?
well,
Like, there's not a lot to the combat, is what I'm saying, so it can't be the combat you're not great at.
it's because I will notice something's going to happen. I'm like, oh shit, I should need to glide because if I am on the ground, then like things are going to shoot up.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, my finger will get off the glide button and I'm like, ah, fuck, I'm on the ground now, shit. And then like something else will hit me and I'm like, shit, I can't heal myself, I don't have time, I have to glide again. Oh, and I just fuck it up. I just fuck it up.
Going on?
No, I don't know. I beat Rico, and I'm now going to the last world. But Riku.
Oh. I thought you said Rico.
And he's like, and like he's behind the door of darkness with Mickey. So I'm trying to go to the end of the world.
Right.
But because I'm not that great at the combat sometimes, and
is it like because is there dodging in that or?
There's dodging, but you gotta be good at dodging.
Sure.
And I'm more
like there's no like correct time dodge though, right? Like it's all open, isn't it?
Well,
like Bayonetta, like you have to hit it at the right moment. I don't think Kingdom Hearts does that, right?
I'm trying to think of like.
I mean, I don't know.
Like, there's like a dodge one, but like with some of the enemies, like Sephiroth, when he does like a long sweep, if you don't do that at the right time, because it's such a long one, that'll still get you.
But I mean, he's the one-winged angel, so
yeah.
Yeah, but right now I'm on the Hades Cup, and I want to beat that before I go into
Hades from Hercules.
Yes,
that guy's cool.
The Colosseum fights. So I'm on the Hades Cup, and the way that it works is there's like they do it is 50 levels and they break it up by 10. So if you die at 35, then you have to go back at 40. And then like normally like 41, 31, 21 tends to be like big bosses.
Yeah.
So you have to fight 9 like levels and then you get to the big boss. And it's just I am fine on those 9 ones, and then I get to Cerberus at level like 31, and I cannot for the life of me beat it. And I keep like grinding and trying to level up and like get more like mega potions and mega elixirs and synthesize them, and it's a big bitch. And I always forget to save right before I go into the fight.
It's not something you think about anymore.
And
because all games save for you.
Yeah. I've had the same problem with Nier. Like there's only certain points that you can save, and it does not autosave.
I've done it like 4 times now, where I have like garnered all these resources, and then just use them and get it on and get the Cerberus on the last fucking like lifeline.
Yeah.
And then Goofy and Donald die, and then I get hit by an orb, and then a spike comes up, and I'm just fucked. And it's getting real tiring here.
Are Goofy and Donald the only party members that you ever have?
No. Like, with different worlds, you get different ones, but with the Colosseum fights, then they are the only party members.
Right.
But in, like, Deep Jungle, you get Tarzan. In Atlantica, you get Ariel. And
Atlantica?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
And then in
it's like Atlanta.
Sure.
And then in Neverland,
you get Disney Kingdom, Atlanta.
Well, that's why Futurama made that joke, where Fry and them go underseas and they find the lost city of Atlanta. They're all mer people.
I don't remember.
But yeah. So
the lost city of Atlanta.
Halloween Town. You get Jack. Agrabah, you get Aladdin.
Sure.
And then.
Nightmare Before Christmas is Disney.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. That's why it's since Kingdom Hearts 1, it's been in the worlds.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I just want to beat that. I've been listening. I watched all the cutscenes already for Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And I'm just ready to beat Kingdom Hearts 1 so I can move on to the next game.
Sure.
And then I've just been playing a lot of mobile Otomis because I mentioned it last week. Motomis.
Sure.
So I mentioned last week that I want to find Motomis that have different systems of how to progress through the game than like what's usually it is. There's like 3 kind of main formats, and I want to find different ones.
Did you ever get all your spooky boyfriends in Ephemeral?
Yeah, I did.
Who's your favorite spook?
Count Chocula.
Is it Count Chocula?
No. My favorite is probably the Invisible Man for like my own preferences, but like as far as story goes, the Mummy one's pretty cool.
Sure, mummies are cool. Mummy's the coolest monster.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is like really weird. Like it's weird for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm having trouble like not looking right at it. You know.
You should look right at it.
I feel like we should look at each other.
Look right at it the entire time.
I had that problem last time because I would just like look over.
Like with the webcam, I was constantly looking at the monitors just to keep track.
So if we
keep track of everything, but we don't have to do that.
If we flip that around, would you not look at it?
I think I'd look at the lens.
Yeah.
Which is fine for when we're doing newscast or like whatever else we decide to do. But for this, I feel like we should talk to each other.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, it's kind of weird. It'll take some getting used to.
Yeah. Did you have a problem?
I know you're old and change is scary, but...
Did you have a problem?
I implemented the change, damn it.
Did you have a problem not looking at the webcam?
No. I almost never looked at the webcam.
It's probably because it's less prominent.
Well, because like I said, I was keeping track of everything, whereas now I don't have to.
Yeah.
So like people probably constantly saw me looking off to the right.
Sure.
But yeah.
It's all right. You'll get used to it. We're gonna be stars soon.
Sure.
Right? And soon we're gonna get used to cameras everywhere.
Sure.
People are always
gonna want to
take
paparazzi.
Yeah.
Let's find out how much it costs to buy a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You can buy them.
It's probably not that much.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's
like
find out.
Elvis Presley,
Sure.
Shanae Howard,
Sure.
No,
Nicolas Cage.
I was gonna say Safe Continue
Wait,
podcast.
if Nicolas Cage has a star, then that sets a really high bar. Now I'm not so sure.
Well, he was a ghostwriter.
Yeah, he was. He was also Con Air.
Sure.
So
Put the bunny
in the box. Greatest movie accent of all time. No, that's not true. Keanu's accent in Interview with the Vampire was pretty great.
Oh yeah.
What about Leo in Blood Diamond?
That was actually
Annoying.
yeah.
Oh, I was being sarcastic.
Sure. It was just funny because Keanu's Interview with the Vampire, not Interview with the Vampire, Dracula accent was basically Victorian surfer.
Well, it all comes back to vampires because Nicolas Cage's accent in
Sure.
Vampire's Kiss,
Which is
fucking
like
hilarious.
really hard to nail down because like,
Yeah.
where are you from?
Yeah. What are you trying to do here?
So
Ryan, what have you been playing?
okay, so I've actually been really excited to talk to you guys about this week. So week before about 2 weeks ago, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, Tom, you did check it out on Florence.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew you played it, and I forgot to even talk to you about it.
So Florence, for those of you who haven't seen, check it out.
It's on Android now.
It's a mobile game by the company Annapurna.
Developed by Mountain.
Developed by Mountain, published by Annapurna. It's a game about a woman in her mid-20s who's kind of, figuring herself out.
The titular Florence.
The titular Florence, figuring herself out, as far as what she wants to do, and as far as, like negotiating like relationships and things like that.
It's funny that I'm sorry, Ryan. It's funny that you keep doing the spread because like earlier this morning I took a picture of this and posted it to Instagram. I was like, who's ready to shoot a porno?
It almost made Monster come out of my nose.
The answer is Shanae's ready.
Oh, Ryan said it's unprofessional to cross your legs, and all 3 of us were crossing our legs.
Well, I mean, I've got it cropped so they can't see our legs.
Sure.
But Ryan says it's unprofessional.
Look, I'm just trying to train you for
We don't have to wear pants.
Yeah, we don't.
We've never had to wear pants.
We've never worn pants on the show.
Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong in the comments.
But the game is about 30 minutes long.
Yeah, if that.
And I was telling Tom that game puts you through a lot in 30 minutes. Because I'm smiling at stuff, and then like something happens, and then I'm like feeling really sad, and then I'm smiling again. But the game is just interactive enough to where I feel like I'm part of that story with her.
Well, have you played it more than once?
No, not yet.
I mean, I'm not saying that like anything drastic will change because it won't. Mm-hmm. But like you've probably noticed, you can make different decisions.
Right.
When you're talking to your mother, when you're packing things of that nature.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Like the during the check it out, you mentioned the scenes where like you'd be in an argument with the boyfriend.
Oh yeah. The
putting
speech bubbles.
Putting the puzzle together, and or like when you're first getting to know him. And like the puzzle's like harder to put together, and then like as you get to know each other, like the puzzle, like first the puzzle is like 4 pieces, and you get to know each other.
One piece
then,
after a while.
After a while, it just goes down to 1 piece.
Yeah. Because it becomes easier to talk to people with time.
Yeah. And that was something that I like. It felt like a really good analog for that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I like Florence. I mean, I like games that I feel like I can relate to, and that doesn't mean like I don't play games with superpowers or anything. Like I do, you know. But like, typically I find something in those characters I can relate to, whether it's Florence or Persona or whatever it might be. You know. I think that's why it works. I think like anybody can play that game because there's no barrier to entry. Yeah. You know, nearly everyone has a phone and can touch that phone.
Sure.
And most everybody has experienced those same things. Yeah. You know.
Basic reading ability required.
Yeah. Barely. There's one part about Florence that bothered me, and I wonder if you had a problem with it. There's a part, spoilers by the way, there's a part where there's a photograph of the two of them that has been ripped apart.
Yeah. And
it's slowly floating apart. And the object is for you to try to puzzle it together and keep it together.
Yeah.
And then eventually it moves on to the next scene. It took me so long to trigger that next scene.
Well, see, what I ended up having to do, because like I actually, the first time I experienced it, I got all the pieces together and then nothing happened.
Right.
And then I was like, maybe this is a metaphor for you can never fix things.
Sure.
And then like, and so I was just like, so I just sat there and like,
and they float apart.
I sat there and like let it float apart. I was like, maybe after like a certain amount of time it'll trigger something, and it didn't.
Yeah, so you have to put them together again.
Well, what I did was I went out to the title screen and then I went back in and put them back together, and immediately it triggered.
Weird.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't do that. I played it all one sitting, like no cuts or anything.
Yeah.
And I put that bitch back together like 3 or 4 times before it finally moved on.
Yeah, so I actually did. I played.
And it takes a lot of effort to move on.
Sure.
I mean, I get it. I just like that is the one thing in that game I would change.
Yeah. I played most of that game during a walk with my dog.
Yeah.
Which I felt like was a really good way to spend that time.
Sure.
But then also I have
Annapurna, man, fucking killing it.
Yeah, that's really
killing it.
That's really I think that's really the only thing I've played that they've put out.
They're putting out so much good stuff, man.
They put out that
and stuff coming up too. Ashen, have you seen the trailer for Ashen?
No.
Oh,
wait, I think we saw that together. Maybe.
Super spooky. It was we did see it together. All 3 of us saw it. Microsoft's E3 press conference.
That's right. Yeah. That game does look spooky with the faceless people.
Mm-hmm.
Did they publish Gorogoa?
They published Gorogoa. They published Edith Finch. They're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
And those are all like...
I don't know about their movies. Like, I'm sure I've seen their movies. But, like, they're killing it in the game space.
All of them have, like, definitely, like, a... Like, oh, you can tell this is from the same, like, company. But they're also all, like, really different, too.
Well, it's much like Devolver, right? Like, all Devolver games, even if they're different...
You can look at them.
Somehow feel connected, you know? Yeah.
Like, because this is something that they would publish.
Yeah, exactly. And Annapurna is very much doing that.
I think, Annapurna seems like what they focus on is, publishing, like, really narrative-driven, like, titles.
Sure.
Whereas Devolver is, like, this crazy and have blood and probably some boobs in it.
Yeah. Would Suda51 play this?
Yeah. Answer most...
Print it.
Which, actually, it's funny that you say that, because I did actually think about, like, man, it would be cool if those two hooked up sometime.
But I mean, he has spoken highly of their games. I don't doubt it happening in the future.
Yeah.
And I think they might have even the slightest bit of involvement with Trap Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're publishing it, but I think, like, so they're integrating indie games into that game. From what I understand, basically as, like, clothing options.
Yeah.
I think there might be some of that stuff in there.
Cool. but yeah, I played, I played that, and it's funny because like Florence was so short, but at the same time, like I've been thinking about it since I played it,
Yeah.
because of how relatable it is, and like I looked at it and I was like, on one hand, like I was playing it and I was like, man, I sure would like to be in a relationship again, and then by the end of it, I was like, I never want to be in a relationship again. But yeah, I like that a lot. And then of course I've been playing I've still been playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and
You beat it though, right?
yeah, I finished the story, and it's funny because I didn't realize that I had done it until the credits started rolling.
I think that's kind of to be expected though.
Yeah, that game very much feels like, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure who that story was for.
But story is kind of the last thing Monster Hunter needs.
Yeah, like that's
You
what I'm
know?
saying is like I'm not sure who that story was for because like I wasn't in any hurry to get through it, and I certainly didn't care about any of the characters, and it doesn't seem like Capcom cared a whole lot about the characters either because none of them have names.
Right.
Um,
If you don't name it, you don't love it.
Sure. And so like I finished. I killed the last monster in the game, like the last monster in the shipped game, and then it triggered an unskippable 15-minute long cutscene,
Nice.
which I sat through that, and then it just throws you right out. It shows you right back into the hub world to just do more shit, which like I would have been fine because throughout the game there's a bunch of unskippable story stuff that you have to slog through.
Yeah.
And it's
But when it's so long.
yeah, it's because it's long. Like some of the story stuff is a lot of like walking around and there'll be an NPC in the area, and then they'll be talking to you about something, and then you just have to follow them, and you can't do anything.
Yeah. So like with Shadow of the Colossus, and I believe it was this way with the old one as well. But every time you beat it, the last cutscene that plays, which is a great cutscene, but I've beat it like 20 times at this point.
Yeah.
Every time you beat it, you have to sit through that entire cutscene and the credits and a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And like it just takes forever, man.
I think I strongly disagree with unskippable cutscenes. Like,
Yeah, because like if you want to watch it, you're going to watch it.
sure.
Should you have to watch it every single time?
Yeah, like
You know?
if it's a game that I genuinely love playing.
Shouldn't I stop looking at the game?
Well, you said it, and then I looked over. I was like, "Oh God, Kingdom Hearts!" Because originally Kingdom Hearts you couldn't skip through the cutscenes.
Yeah.
But with the final mix, they made it where you can.
Nice.
So yeah, no, that was a big complaint in the community, and they heard it and changed it. Which
Like I get that like they worked hard on it
And they want you to see it.
but like if it's a game that I love and I'm gonna play it over and over again.
Or even like you have to watch it the first playthrough,
Yeah.
and the next time around you can skip it. Like
Yeah.
that would be cool.
that makes more sense. But like also, just let me skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bought it.
Yeah, because maybe I don't want to watch it ever. I
Right.
just want to play the game. And I get it, like, because like the credits, you can't skip through the credits either. And like, yeah, like that's fine. I guess people who made the game, you want them to get their recognition, and but at the same time, it's like I don't care.
Yeah.
Just, like give me more monsters to hit.
To hunt.
Yes, what did I say?
Hit.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, but like every week or so, I have another friend who's like, who's basically like, hey Ryan, I'm getting this Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
You should show me how to play. So like,
Sure.
like
And then you take them under your wing.
yeah.
Let's go.
Are they your grasshoppers, and are you their sensei?
Kind of, but like every time someone says that to me, I just inundate them with like resource links.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Read.
like, I'm just like, great.
Read.
Here you go. And
Here's the instruction pamphlet.
yeah, so
Come to me when you finish reading it.
yeah, so like basically like pretty much every week for like the past month, I've been redoing that starting area over and over because I have new friends who are joining and they want me to go through that stuff with them, which is fine because it's I'm just still doing the monster hunting, but it's really cool to have a game that so many of my friends want to play. Because before this game came out, like my friends list was like really fractured, and
Right.
everyone was like off playing like my friends list was like like maybe 30 people on at a time, all playing different things. But now it's like 80% of them are like it's all Monster Hunter World, and that's really cool. Because I miss playing games with my friends, you know.
Sure.
Oh, Tom, I really want you to get into that Into the Breach whenever you get the chance.
Yeah. I figure I'll go through it tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, I'd like to see how you fare on your first run.
I mean, from what I hear, you can beat the game relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So.
I learned something because on one of my streams I got to that very last battle and I kind of flubbed it.
Yeah.
I learned something about that would have made it easier, and I'm really anxious to try it again. But yeah, that's basically all I've been playing. That's all I've been doing. We're coming up on the 25-minute mark here.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back.
So welcome back to the second part of the Save Continue podcast. So guys, I want to talk to you about something today. Actually, because of, you know, how I've been feeling since Monster Hunter came out a couple of months ago, I wanted to ask you guys, what was the last time you felt genuinely happy while playing a video game?
When I beat Maleficent in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Like, because what I mean is, the first time I booted up Monster Hunter World, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted Monster Hunter to be for the past 10, 15 years, and it's finally that. And I felt like this overwhelming sense of joy, like to the point where I was actually like smiling.
Crying.
As I cried sometimes, but like usually that was out of frustration when a hunt didn't go my way, but like genuine like joy is what I felt. What was the last game that like truly made you feel like that?
Most games, honestly.
Yeah.
There are some games, like I hate the argument that like, if it's not fun, don't play it.
Sure.
Because I do think that there are games that are not fun that still should be played. I don't think The Last of Us is a fun game, you know. But
Edith Finch.
Well, how do you mean fun?
Yeah, Edith Finch isn't a particularly fun game,
I'm not gonna
right?
smile through that, but it
Right.
is like it's enthralling.
Like a baby drowning in the bathtub isn't fun.
Sure.
There's nothing fun about that, right?
Right.
But like most games that aren't, you know, drama heavy like that, I get that with most games.
Yeah.
I've been playing Street Fighter V, Nier Automata. Nier Automata does have a strong story that does get kind of emotional, but the gameplay is very fun.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's a lot of Motomis have like really silly routes, like when the character is like super silly, and I just giggle through the whole thing because it's just like it's so lighthearted and funny, and it makes me giggle.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'd say most games bring me joy, but not all of them.
Yeah. So like, and it's funny because
Sorry about that, Shanae.
No, I fixed it. That's fine.
what happened?
I hadn't started these videos playing, so Shanae.
So Sinead took care of it.
Yeah.
She's always on top of it.
Sure.
Reached around to this little number.
You reached around.
Yeah, I reached it around.
Sure. It's funny because, you know, there was last week we did I think it was last week, we streamed 2 of the games I got in Humble, and
Yeah.
and like
That was not fun.
that experience was like very much the opposite end of that spectrum.
Everything was fun.
No, like the games after, 2 of the games after that.
Right. Ian's Eyes.
Ian's, oh my god.
Don't play that.
Shanae, I wish you would have been here for Ian's Eyes. That was like.
What sucks is like, I don't want to say it's a Ready at Dawn situation because I do believe their games are genuinely good.
Right.
But it's a Ian's Eyes is like an indie company that put too much into presentation and not enough into being a fun game.
Right.
You know, or a good game.
Sure. Because I was thinking of, like, the whole time I was playing it, because I dedicated, like, I said, I need to give this game 30 minutes of a chance, at least, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Ryan is trying to stream a bunch of games. So we all have, like, way more games for PC than we could possibly ever need. Some of them that we have no intention of ever playing. Ryan's trying to give them all a fair shake. So he's trying to stream each one that he's just happened to get for 30 minutes at least.
Yeah, so... okay, so I'll give you the basic premise, Shanae. So Ian's Eyes is a game where you play as a dog, a seeing eye dog, for a blind child
Named
Oh.
Ian.
the titular Ian.
That sounds
his-
like it'd be real sad.
and you-
Real sad.
But it sounds like a good concept. It sounds like it could be good.
Yeah, like
It's not good.
Like the idea is good, but the actual game
The
is just
execution is
it's just
terrible?
it's like look,
Do you
I-
feel like you're being Ian's eyes?
I feel like I'm being annoyed.
sure. Okay, so I said this last week is that I get it. Making video games is hard, but if you're gonna ask people to pay money for it, make it enjoyable. That game was just, it was anything but and it was just unbalanced and weird and mostly dumb.
And what's funny is what we didn't look into is that could have been that company's first game ever. And if so, that's a pretty good first game.
Sure.
Right? But
Granted,
the average customer is not going to look in to see what these people have made.
Granted, Ian's Eyes, for as much as I didn't enjoy it, is much better than any video game that I could make. That being said, it is not a fun game. And before that, played a game called what was that called? Root.
Oh yeah, Bloody Roots.
Yeah. It's never mind. I was gonna try for a Soulfly joke, and I knew it was gonna work.
It wants to be a stealth game.
Yeah.
Only you can shoot guys in the dick and they don't respond.
They don't. And they
I mean-
also see you through walls and floors,
Ah.
making stealth impossible. But the funny thing about it is that when they do notice you, they let out a Ric Flair woo.
Woo!
Bring it in a little bit,
They
Sinead.
bring it in, make it tighter, make it tighter.
Toy.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
And so that was, and what I bring that up to say, I brought those games up because that was very much the opposite end of that spectrum, right? The whole time I was playing them,
You were not having fun.
I was thinking about other games that I would rather be playing.
Sure.
Um,
But kudos to you for giving them time and actually playing them before you just say, "Oh, that's garbage."
yeah. Which I if I had just loaded it up just to see what it was about, then that very easily could have happened.
It's like with Media Molecule's Dreams. There are so many people internet personalities, right? Games editors that are "Oh, this game's gonna be fucking trash,"
Right.
who don't know what they're talking about yet.
Yeah.
And it might be garbage, but
Sure, but we don't know that.
give it a shot first.
Um,
We played enough Bound by Flame to say that game's horrible.
I got a
But-
good 5 hours.
Yeah.
That I will never get back.
That's not how time works, sorry.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But then at the end of that spectrum, at the end of that exercise, though, ended up playing Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, which I immediately enjoyed.
Right.
Yeah.
I've
heard a lot of really good things about it.
Yeah, it's it was, and the thing about it though is I don't know how much of that enjoyment was just purely organic versus how much it was amplified by its
Because it was
contrast-
so much better.
yeah, by its contrast to the
Yeah.
other two games. But I remember playing it and immediately feeling engaged in it, and actually I was having a really good time. It was just because I was the whole time
You
I
gotta
was
have
thinking
the bad to appreciate the good.
sure, and
That's absolutely true.
if every game is good, then no game is good, right? So it was just I was playing it, I was like, oh man, this is so much better than Ian's Eyes. This is so much better than Root, and
That's not a lie.
I mean, Eden's eyes aren't great. That's why you have the dog.
yeah,
Oh, zing!
that's fair. And it's funny because later today I'm going to be installing Vermintide 2.
You will have fun.
And I've been Tom a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I think, probably longer than that, we played Left 4 Dead 2 together for the first time.
Oh yeah, much longer than that.
And I remember how much fun that was, actually, and we kind of recaptured a little bit of that playing Left 4 Dead more recently.
Yeah, I can't speak to Vermintide 2 because I haven't played it, but the first Vermintide, if you like Left 4 Dead or Killing Floor, or more Left 4 Dead, because it is, at least the first one is point A to point B.
Right.
It's that with just more RPG mechanics,
Right.
which makes it even more fun. You know, I do think the first Vermintide is better than Left 4 Dead. However, my big thing with it is I would rather shoot an SMG than a bow and arrow.
Right.
But that's just personal preference,
Yeah. And from my understanding, there's a lot more melee going on.
There is a lot of melee. I mean, there are ranged classes,
Yeah.
but yeah, there is a lot of melee.
Yeah, so I kind of it's it's just an attempt to kind of because like a lot of people, I would love Left 4 Dead 3 to be a thing, but
Sure.
I don't know when or if that's going to happen.
It won't.
So
This whole thing this week with like Gabe Newell says like Valve's actually going to make games again. It's like
they didn't say which games.
okay, but like Gabe
Which-
Newell also promised you Half-Life 3 like 12 times.
Yeah,
So,
Matt of his word.
not yet.
Nope. Well, I don't know, but yeah. So like I'm looking forward to actually like playing that and maybe recapturing some of what I haven't had in such a long time with in the absence of like a new Left 4 Dead.
Well, I mean, I think Killing Floor fills
Killing-
that void quite
Yeah,
nicely.
and the Killing
but-
Floor has evolved in such a way like over since its initial launch that it feels like it's not just more of the same. There's
I mean, specifically in the way that levels work and
Yeah.
the way progression works, I do like that progression more than Left 4 Dead.
right.
That doesn't mean I don't miss Left 4 Dead though.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an exciting prospect. That's one of the things that I was thinking about. Like more like I guess what would rival the joy I get from playing games is looking forward to the acquisition of new games and the actual purchase of those games. It's like a drug.
I don't look forward to purchasing games because that means there's less money for other stuff.
Nah, what do you need the money for other stuff for?
Food.
Well, I mean, look.
Well, yeah, feed yourself before you buy video games.
But I also just like going out and like trying new restaurants and eating new food.
Sure.
So.
I don't have time for that. I've got too many video games to play.
Plus, he knows he likes McDonald's. So.
Yeah, like
You know-
I've kind of solved that mystery already.
Like, all he does is Uber Eats McDonald's to himself.
That'd be so cool.
That would be cool. I've only actually used one food delivery service, and it was a really awkward experience, and I don't think I'll be repeating.
Well, we used that alcohol one.
Oh, open bar.
Yeah.
You also probably have done a lot of pizza delivery.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
but pizza delivery is like it's always less awkward, right? Like I
Why?
know, I don't know. Well, I should let me. I guess I should preface it with I've only ever ordered delivery that wasn't pizza one time.
Well, Shanae, it's not delivery; it's DiGiorno.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I have my preferences on food delivery places. I've tried a lot of them.
Well, it wasn't an actual restaurant that delivered. I used a third party to bring the food to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was a weird experience. But anyway.
Was the guy naked?
Yes.
No, but I was.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, so now
Vermintide is something I would like all three of us to get into.
Yeah.
We don't play games together enough. Ryan and I do here or there. Shanae and I have, but
I don't
not
think I've
often. I think the
ever
last thing
played
I
a
played
game.
with you was Pinball FX,
Oh,
which was super fun, but
but
like,
also a long ass time
Yeah.
ago.
I don't think I've ever played a game
Well,
with you,
I mean,
Shanae.
you tried out Ephemeral. It's not really playing with me, but it is us
True.
both playing the same game.
but like Vermintide is like it's cheap to buy in, right? Like it's like I think 30 or 40 new, and it'd be fun.
Actually, I think the only game, Shanae, that you and I have played simultaneously,
Snipper clips?
yeah, and like you did not enjoy yourself, so.
I enjoyed watching you guys.
Because it got to the point where Shanae was like, I can't tell if you're being intentionally obtuse.
What's
or-
funny is like that game keeps winning awards for like Family Game of the Year and things like that, and I'm like, are people not arguing when they're playing this? Like maybe it's not a good family game.
I was like, maybe it's just me and Ryan.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, oh yeah, let's work together.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just like, God damn it, Ryan.
I don't
Because like you guys were doing it with just two people. If you're playing that as a family, you can play Snipper Clips 4-player.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine like mom or dad getting fucking pissed at Billy,
Yeah.
Well, and Billy sucks at games. I don't know why they invited him to play with them.
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta measure your expectations when you play games with a child, though.
Yeah, clip it, idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're
Snip it.
Tommy, and then you're just like, well, you gotta get good or get out of the house.
Sure.
Well, I mean, based on what I'm hearing about this Overwatch business, it's like it's getting good is happening.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to the point where it's like,
You seem so concerned. You immediately furrowed your eyebrows.
I just didn't like. Here's the thing, right? We've all had the thing where we've shown somebody who doesn't play a lot of games a game to play, and controlling the camera in the way that we have been controlling cameras in games for the past 15, 20 years
Yeah.
is so foreign to them. And my daughter has played first-person games, right? She beat Portal and all that. She plays a lot of Minecraft, but like those are so much slower paced than something like Overwatch. But like those simple skills transferred over to a first-person shooter very quickly for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really neat because like I came back over, like I went home after the show. It was last week, right?
Yes, sir.
And then I came back over and she was like on the sofa playing Overwatch. She had like her little headset on. She had and like she was on the character select screen, and then like I came in here to talk to Tom, but like in the other room I could hear her like talking on her headset. It was just like it
They're
was
doing call-outs.
yeah. It was such a really cool thing to like see like from a secondhand perspective.
But it's funny though, like if you think about it, it's really no different than us playing like GoldenEye when we were kids.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But I guess it was.
I think it's a little more intensive.
Well, I mean, sure that there's strangers there.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, if you want to tell me like fucking payload on Overwatch is more intensive than facility proximity mines only, I'll tell you you're wrong. You know.
Yeah.
But
But it's also it had a lot to do with the fact that like up until that point, I hadn't imagined that she would be playing games like that because
you look at the games she's played, right,
Yeah.
and they're all just different sorts of games,
Yeah.
right? She's super into The Sims, Stardew Valley, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not the genre that I would have thought she'd be into, but
Yeah.
I'm glad she is though.
Yeah, and you know, what was also really cool though, is you know her brother watching her play and like he would like
So he's playing Garden Warfare 2 right now,
Yeah.
which is a similar game.
Yeah.
Quite similar, you know.
and
So-
he would speak with like such like what's the word he seemed very
Disappointment.
sure he seemed like really proud of how well she was doing because I was like because I said to her I was like Bailey, you need to be a champion Overwatch player by the end of the week so that Tom and I could make a lot of money. And then Bradley was like, well, she pretty much already is. And it was really cool because like he was watching her play and like
Aw, feel proud of his big sister. That's so sweet.
So this has nothing to do with the conversation really, but as somebody who's played Overwatch, where if I've only played like half an hour of Overwatch, with the loot box system, do you get repeats or no?
yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, because she's opened a shit ton of loot boxes and hasn't had a single repeat yet.
So
She's good.
Yeah.
At some point she will get repeats and it'll just be converted into in-game currency.
Got it.
But yeah, it's really cool to hear that not only is she enjoying herself, but she's like really excelling at it.
Yeah.
Like she got like numerous play of the games on her first night, which you know that didn't happen for me at all. But that I'm also garbage at that game.
She also has those childlike reflexes.
Sure. My reflexes aren't what they used to be. But yeah, it's really neat to see something like that. You know, given the fact that you know, like I said, you know that wasn't a game that I imagined that she would be into.
Yeah.
Or play. And I've been playing shooters for, I guess since
forever.
Yeah, you know.
Basically, right?
Yeah, but
Wolfenstein.
like I've always been garbage at them. Like for example, like Titanfall 2, right?
Yeah.
Like like Titanfall 2 is a badass game, but I can't make it happen in that game, you know.
Well, I think that's also partly that you were always more of a Battlefield guy, whereas I was more the Call of Duty guy.
Sure.
And Titanfall is definitely much more Call of Duty.
Yeah. Do you think that if you had given it a shot, you probably would have done decent at it?
I think I do okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a lot of the same fucking developers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that brings me to kind of my next point. Like, has there ever been a time? Sinead, has there ever been a time where, like, you had people who were like, "Dude, you should really get into this game. Like, these games are like really good," and you played it, and maybe it was too hard, or the mechanics didn't click for you, and then like you tried really hard to like soldier through that, but like you're just like, I can't do it.
Yeah. What is it called? The Divinity 2?
Yeah.
I could not like that.
There's a lot of systems in Divinity.
Yeah.
I did not think it was good at all. And people...
Oh, you didn't think it was good?
No, I didn't think it was
Wow.
good. I didn't like it.
That's surprising. Oh, I could see not liking it, but like
I just think
still
it was
being
good.
able to recognize that it's a good game.
I think it was good.
Wow.
But
I-
what
like,
would you
everyone-
say is your largest criticism of the game?
I don't know. I just didn't feel like very... I didn't feel very engaged.
Right.
I guess is the only... I don't even feel like that's the right word, but I just couldn't get into it. It just felt boring. It didn't feel like original. It reminded me of games that I would rather be playing, and I just couldn't. I was just like, I'm like, if I want this system or this part of this game in there, I would just go play this other game.
I think it's more like a combination of systems working together smartly, you know.
Have you ever are there RPGs of that type that you do enjoy?
Yeah. I mean, what did you say?
It's funny because I think that Kingdom Hearts could make an RPG of that type work.
Absolutely.
You're right. There's a lot of different like systems and stuff. So there's like stuff from Diablo.
It can be. I
There's
feel
there's like JRPG kind of elements.
There are
in
so
there.
many games that you can point to and say Divinity took this from that.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard to say.
It's in a category with that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in that game. It's like it can be overwhelming.
I don't know. I just like. It just felt like. I don't know. I didn't feel like the systems necessarily worked together very well. It felt like these parts were all blaringly obvious, like similar to other games, but I didn't really feel like they meshed very well. If that makes sense. Like the biggest part was I was just like, all right, I just want to go play Diablo now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to play this. I just want to play Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I didn't like that. I like a lot of JRPGs, and someone's like, "Oh, you like Hyper Dimension Neptunia," and I was like, "This isn't no,
Yeah.
don't enjoy this."
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like a wide variety of games that people have like suggested to me, especially like working at GameStop for so long and like talking to people because that's your job,
Right.
And like if I hadn't played a game before, like I would ask people, I'm like, "All right, well, what did you think about it?"
Yeah.
And like and then people would suggest to play it or not, and
Canon Lynch.
No one suggested that game to me. They're like, "Oh, if you see it, burn it."
Oh, well, those people are idiots. So. Do you like RPGs of that type though? Like if you do, might I interest you in Fallout 1 and 2?
I've played Fallout 2.
Okay.
I've only watched Fallout 1.
Wasteland 2 is also good. What about you, Tom?
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
So, have there been
games that people suggested that you didn't like?
that you try to get into them and you couldn't?
I mean, sure.
Like maybe it was too hard, or like this you just didn't like the way it played, and you like tried to really like push yourself through it to like see what kind of redeeming qualities it had, and you couldn't do it.
Well, it's like with the Soul series. We've talked about this before. Plenty of my friends, most of my friends, love that series.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, you totally." I mean, shit, you bought me the first one.
Yep.
And like,
it only cost me like.
I can recognize that series is a good series, and that the mechanics that they're using are solid. I don't know what it is that I don't like about it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I will say this
It's the Souls.
With Bloodborne being free this month, I'm planning on giving that another shot because why not?
I would love to see that.
But that's the major one that sticks out. There's other things like. Nearly everybody that played War of the Lions, people are like, "Oh, you have to play Tactics Ogre,"
right?
Which like Tactics Ogre is fine, but War of the Lions is better.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Have you ever suggested a game to somebody they end up hated?
Yeah, nearly always. I don't feel like my video game tastes are particularly singular. I think that I play a lot of
truck simulators.
Yeah, I have never suggested either of the truck simulators to anybody because I know that people won't like them. But even though those games have like a really dedicated community, like people I've looked at a message board of the truck simulator games, like people talk about their rig setups. And it's
good. I'm glad you're happy about it.
It's better than people talking about their vape rig setups though.
Sure. Undoubtedly. Yeah.
But like, for example, like I can't begin to tell you how many people I've suggested Elite Dangerous to, and I of course
it's a very specific type of genre though,
Yeah, and I've always tried to say like there is a steep learning curve, but you get over it, and then it could be immensely rewarding.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't get past that initial learning curve or that initial tutorial. And and like how to pilot a ship and whatever. And you know, on some level, it's kind of it's disappointing only in that like I would love to be able to talk to people that I actually know personally about the game, as opposed to like strangers on an internet forum.
Oh, I feel you on that. Pretty much most of Tommy's like people that I know in real life don't play this.
Yeah.
So when I want to talk about them, I have like my specific forums because I've gone through and some are like really got like garbage and the people in there are just really negative or whatever. Or like they're weird and like, oh, I want a guy just like this. I'm like, no, just take the entertainment value.
Yeah, and so
you don't want a guy like this, not in real life, not on a day-to-day thing.
Well, what's funny is though, like you've done Check It Out on Atomies, right? Most recently with Ephemeral, and like not only have you gotten me to try it out, you also got like Rez is gonna try it. I don't know if he has, maybe he fucking hates it. But if he doesn't hate it, if I don't hate it, then you got people to talk to about it, you know. And that's what I like about the whole Discord thing is like. I don't know most of those people in real life, right? Some of them I do, most of them I don't, right? But we talk to them regularly.
Yeah.
I feel like I know those people. Yeah. So it's nice to have them to talk to about games.
Yeah. Corey hit me up on Twitter today, and I was like, oh, I forgot that we were Twitter friends.
And then you blocked him.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Canada sucks.
Yeah, fuck Canada. No, I mean, Canada's fine.
Bless you.
Thanks. Shit. I'm allergic to that story you just told.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, well, you know, because I think that like at one point like I was trying to get more people into Elite because like it got to the point where like you know we could actually play the game together in like a more like tangible and not so like a more direct way, and I wanted to experience that with people, but I have to begin to acknowledge that that's never going to happen.
I think it's just because of the genre it is.
Yeah.
That's not a genre that has a huge player base.
Right.
Never has, even in the 90s when it was at its peak, you know?
Right.
So it's hard with stuff like that. But typically I'll try to suggest things that are similar, which is like why people suggest Tactics Ogre, right?
Right.
If you're into War of the Lions, of course you're going to like Tactics Ogre. But like I've got a lot of friends who only play Western fighting games.
Yeah.
And like if you appreciate...
What is a Western fighting game?
Like Mortal Kombat,
okay.
Right? Or Injustice, right?
Right.
Or Killer Instinct, for that matter.
Right.
I'm like, if you appreciate these systems, you should really try your hand at some Japanese fighting games.
Right.
But, you know.
I feel like if I was if looking at any of all the Eastern fighting games, I feel like Street Fighter is probably the one that would be most accessible to me, I think.
I think with the limited experience that you had with Killer Instinct, the more recent Killer Instinct, I could definitely see that. But
because I watch you, who I don't know a whole lot of Street Fighter, but like based on what I know about you and watching you play the game, I consider you to be at least a very decent Street Fighter player. And
I think just with the way that the two games are set up, they mimic each other quite a bit.
And I watch you play, and like it very much looks like the way combos work in Street Fighter looks to be like kind of different, or the way that people set up combos and execute combos in Street Fighter is seems to be very different. It seems to be more.
Well, I mean, there's all the people that are beating me, which is a lot of people, are setting up combos way better than I am.
Yeah. But like it just also seems like the movesets are, they seem like, unless we're talking about Zangief. Because I'm never going to be able to... I feel like I'll never pull off a 360 pile driver.
I'm bad with all of those types of moves as well. But
you talk about like the Shotokan characters like Ryu and Ken, and like I feel like I can play that because like that's like a very simple concept.
Well, even if you get into Dragon Ball FighterZ, which I haven't yet, but I understand that the way the game works, and it's an Arc System Works game, who is well known for making extremely complex fighters, right? But it's so simplified that anybody should be able to go in there and do some pretty fucking good combos, you know?
Berto's been playing it a lot.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the combos automatically build off of each other, light, medium to heavy.
Yeah.
Which anybody understands 1, 2, 3, you know?
Yeah, I was talking to him on asking his opinions on there and stuff like that. And he says it's probably, in his experience, most similar to like a BlazBlue.
Well, it's the same company.
Yeah. Well,
but it's much simpler than BlazBlue is, though. You know,
it's funny.
Like the way the combo system works, it is much simpler. It's undeniable.
I've always seen him as more of a shooter guy. Does he like play a lot of fighting games?
He used to play MVC3 competitively, and I bought him a fight stick, and he would go to tournaments and stuff like that a lot.
Yeah.
And then he stopped. And then that thing that I bought collected a fuck ton of dust.
We gotta take a break.
All right.
Sorry, guys. We'll be back.
We'll be back in just a little bit. Stay tuned for this message from UEP Systems. She looks terrified.
she's like, oh god, that was dumb.
All right. Welcome back, guys.
Just redditing.
Yeah, we were just redditing for a second. But yeah, we've, I don't want to set this down because I don't want to spill this on the carpet. I don't want to ruin a nice carpet here. But yeah, I think this is a part of the show where, normally we would have done trivia by now and plugged something, but I don't feel like trivia is really a thing anymore.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
unprepared.
Tom, remember the idea that you had for a game show?
Act Trivia,
Yeah.
hosted by Jamie Lee Curtis. That's as far as the idea went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good talk show.
Someone should make that happen.
Well, I feel like the only one that could make it happen is probably Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's busy with making.
Or Activia.
Sure.
Or just someone
Like
with a lot
that's part
money.
of her clause is
Yeah.
like we could make you do anything we want. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into Vermintide 2 today. I'm really looking forward to it. I would like to actually. I think we should all like have like get some impressions of that game to see. Because you have.
It stinks.
Well, we can't use a Jay Sherman scale
Okay.
for every game, Tom.
Okay.
Sinead, do you?
If it's anything like the first one, I'll like it.
Sure. Sinead, I feel like you don't play a lot of first-person games.
Didn't you play Overwatch or no?
No.
That was
I mean,
Berta,
I
right?
tried. Yeah, Berta did, and I tried a little bit. I played a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
Probably about as much as you.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I played a lot of Borderlands 1 and 2.
That's
and
pretty good.
then I played. And then. I mean, PUBG, first person.
How do you do that? Like, I don't, like, I get how people do it, but like at the same time, I don't get it because like of the, because of like the horrifying experiences that I've had with that game.
Yeah. No, I play some. I mean, it's real varied in what I play.
Right.
In some aspects.
Your
But
Tommy are varied anyway.
Yeah, I play like, yeah.
There's a lot of boyfriends out there, you know.
There's a lot of boyfriends, and a lot of them isn't first person view.
They're really good at MLB The Show.
That'd be really cool. They still have they have tournaments for that, I'm sure.
No, not.
They have to.
I mean, they might, but I'm not going to.
Dude, Street Fighter Anniversary is bringing back tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I get really good at Street Fighter?
All right, work on that.
Easy.
You know they have it in blue, right?
No one gets that joke.
Oh, we get that joke.
Sure. Yeah. Have you ever did you ever play like Left 4 Dead or any game?
Yeah,
Like that?
I play Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
One more than two.
Like I don't play first-person shooters the way that I used to because, like, I found that I don't like competitive multiplayer as much anymore.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I stayed.
definitely something that like I have very little interest in as I get older is like being competitive with it.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to
Man,
compete
really?
against myself. Yeah,
I hear a lot of people, like, more and more, I hear people saying that, and I don't know if that's just due to age or what, but, like, man, I still love it. Like,
Well, I think it's because.
when you're doing well, it's fucking it's great, you know? It's
Well, I
like,
think it's because I don't do well.
yeah.
But also,
But, like,
I don't
even Ryan,
like-
though, like, Ryan, games he's bad at, he still enjoys often,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I enjoy them, but I don't really want to play it competitively because it's
Yeah.
just like. I know, like, if I'm going to get competitive and, like, get into something, I'm going to play it a lot.
Sure, you kind of have to, right?
Well, I also just, like, I'm going to not sleep. I'm going to
Yeah.
choose to spend 4 hours sleeping or less, or just not sleep for 2-3 days, and just continue to play it. And I just have a lot of problems with self-control when I get into something, like, real heavy. And if I don't do it competitively, then I normally have more control and backing away from it. Because, like, if I'm just like, well, let's do one more.
Are there games that you've been at, like the game like has come out or something that you know that you'd be interested in, but you pass on it because you know you would like not be able to control yourself?
Oh, every new WoW expansion, 100%. And I'm just like, I get nostalgic, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, I
What if I
mean,
did that
Blizzard
with-
will control you though by banning you some more. So
Yeah, they'd have
it's been a while since I've
Blizzard
been
put
banned.
some sanctions on your bullshit behavior. So
Oh gosh, yeah. It's been a while since I've been banned, but it's been quite a few years.
But like you've been actively avoiding World of Warcraft because you know that like you'll start playing it and then you'll just
Yeah, no, I was real proud of myself last time I did play it, and I limited my time on there. But with that being said, I still felt that pull.
Yeah.
Where I was like, well, you should just play it for another hour.
Yeah.
And I just.
you have any plans of jumping into vanilla WoW?
But there's no
No,
expansions.
I have
You gotta worry
I
about
have
the
the want.
expansions.
Sure.
And if I get
Interesting, right? To go
yeah,
back.
because I played the vanilla WoW and I remember it fondly, and I kind of don't want to play it because of that aspect.
Because I think that
Because now you'll be like, man, this sucks.
yeah.
No, I don't think I'll be man, this sucks. But I also am gonna compare it to what I like have like a visceral memory of.
Well, vanilla WoW compared to like a Realm Reborn probably doesn't hold. You know, it's probably night and day.
Yeah, but I mean, I also have played a lot of MMOs,
Right.
so there is so I do like I am pretty good about detaching myself and being like, oh, as far as MMOs go, being like, okay, this is just a different, completely thing, even if it's the same genre. But yeah, they are a lot different. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever play vanilla WoW, and if I do, I don't know if I'll get addicted to it.
I hope you do.
That would be great.
But yeah.
And I hope you just start collecting things from the year 2004 and just get stuck in that year forever.
Sure. Would you like that?
I'm just gonna get one of those necklaces where it's just the metal balls.
uh,
There's quite a few games.
is it just WoW though, like or like MMOs, or like are there other games like you see an advertisement for a game, you're like, you know, I would really get into that, but I'm not gonna buy it because I know I would get too into it.
I think well, when Sinead gets into a game, she seems to like get into the game, right? Like, and I say this not knowing Sinead's gaming habits, but just looking at her Steam clocks, you know.
Well, I also have a real big habit of just leaving it open and and
Or like
walking
falling
away.
asleep at the computer.
Sure.
I'm real bad about that, or like getting distracted, and I'll have it on like I'll just like go over to like Reddit or like watch a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a real bad habit of that, but I also once I get into it, I'm like, I need to know everything about this.
Right.
And I'm already feeling that way whenever I just play like a non-competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
So like going to anything that's competitive, or I look at stats, or I start like min-maxing shit, and I'm just like, it's just a lot for me. Like, I mean, other people might feel the same way, but like just as I get older and I have more diverse interest, and I'm also trying to figure out my life, because my shit's just everywhere. None of it's together.
I feel like if you go back to vanilla WoW in the year 2004, you don't have to figure out your life.
Yeah.
You just live the same year forever.
Sure. We can get you some of those New Year's glasses, 2004.
So you just wear all the time. I wonder what that would be like. What it would be like to just watch a stream of Sinead playing vanilla WoW forever.
What was the hit song on the radio? Play that.
It wasn't that Chumbawamba song.
Number one song.
So put number one song 2004.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Wow.
Wow.
Outcast, hey yeah, I'll listen
There
to
you
that
go.
for a
Yeah,
long.
just play that on a loop.
Just put it on.
for 80 hours at a time.
Slow
No.
Jams by Twisted Kanye and Jamie Foxx.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, by Lil Jon, Usher, and Ludacris.
Oh, I remember that song.
Oh man.
Yeah, so just put that playlist on while you play.
Yeah, I'm
World
so
of
down for
Warcraft.
this. This is my new life. I
Sure.
don't know how to figure shit.
Get you
Thanks.
some Mountain Dew Live Wire.
Pitch Black also.
So many Tostinos pizza rolls.
Yeah.
Totinos.
Nope, Tostinos.
That's the chips.
You're talking about Tostitos.
No, Tostitos pizza rolls. I'm not backing down. I'm just gonna double down.
Has that ever happened to you, Tom? Have you ever gotten too into a game and like you had to like forcibly cut yourself off from it?
No, not really, but I think that's just because I'm busy, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I have things that I have to do. Not to say that Sinead doesn't. I don't mean to imply that at all.
No, but I admittedly have problems with self-control.
Yeah.
And prioritizing if I get into something, like, recreationally.
Like, there are times where, like, a new game will come out, or especially at, like, a new console launch or something like that, where, like, I have to work the next day.
Right.
And I'm still staying up all night playing whatever that thing is.
Right.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
You know?
I have caught myself more than once staying up till 4 o'clock playing Monster Hunter when I know I had to be at work at
Yeah, exactly.
8 o'clock.
So, like, that's happened, but even that's not too frequent, you know?
Yeah. I just, it's funny that you, well, it's not funny that you were talking about your thing with World of Warcraft, but it reminded me, I was talking to a friend of mine the other night about my experience with my first MMO ever. And like, since I had never been exposed to that gameplay style and that loot before, like I
Was
did.
it Phantasy Star?
No, it wasn't. Actually, I guess technically, but like I never got Phantasy Star to connect.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah.
You had the game, but you could never get it to work.
What was it? Guild Wars?
No, it was actually EverQuest Online Adventures
Oh,
for
yeah.
the PlayStation 2.
Wait.
It was my first experience with an MMO ever, and I just went.
Hog Wild?
It was the craziest thing. It was the second time in my life where I stayed up for 24 hours straight playing one video game.
You guys ever play Black Desert?
No.
No.
Like, that appeals to me more than most of these other MMOs. Only because combat is, like, active.
Sure.
You know? But,
By the way, I just glanced over behind you and Goofy just said Gorsh.
cool. So we'll make sure to pan into that. No, we won't.
Yeah, you will.
But then then I stopped playing EverQuest. Then I started playing Final Fantasy 11, and then which
People still playing that.
yep, and I don't know how I did that because the whole a lot of that game is not streamlined in a way that I consider it to be fun at all. But
Yeah.
and then of course I went to WoW after that, and that became a whole fucking shit show for me. And then I think I remember in 2000.
I had, like, 2 sittings of WoW ever.
Yeah.
I'm just, not into it.
But you also said that you think that you came into WoW too late. Too.
Yeah, I mean, by the time I jumped on, it had already been out for 10 years.
I can't
you
remember.
know?
Did you say you tried that Old Republic game?
I played a good bit of Old Republic, which is very similar to WoW.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was getting very heavy into ARPGs, whether that be Torchlight, Diablo. I think Diablo came out, Diablo 3, Torchlight 2, and the Old Republic, I think all came out around the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the Old Republic an ARPG?
I mean, I would consider it to be, I mean, I guess not so much in that the combat isn't active.
Yeah.
But...
But yeah, and so...
But like the mechanics of all of those games, and
Yeah.
most MMOs carry through all three, like...
So I remember in 2009, that first Conan MMO came out, and I remember I was trying to run it on a Sony Vaio.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, I had what was it? It was an NVIDIA 7600 in that computer, and every time I went to a different area or screen or whatever, the game would take 10 minutes to load.
Well, there's also there's a reason that Vio's gone, you know.
10 minutes.
But...
And then I got an
That's some
actual...
good pooping time.
Yeah, that was... Well, there were a couple times when I did go to take a poop while I waited for it. And then I got an actual gaming PC, and then it was just like that. But, that game was garbage. And, and I think... And, I don't have a lot of opinions about Funcom outside of what they've done with Conan, and I don't know if they've done anything outside of that. But based on what I've seen of what they do with Conan, they should stop making video games.
I thought you were going to say they should change their name.
What, Funcom?
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably should.
Borcom.
Sure.
Dumbcom.
Sure. Romcom.
Romcom is good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because the CD-ROMs, you see.
Yeah, CD... yeah. But yeah, you would think that Conan would transfer to video games.
I don't think that. Like, even
Well-
people like Exile, I'm just like, I
Well,
don't
there
wanna
was
play
another...
Conan.
There
I
was
think it's
another...
the dong slider.
No, maybe.
There was another Conan game that came out that wasn't an MMO around the same time as that.
360, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was what was it called? I can't remember, but like.
I have no desire. Like, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
But
Well, I feel like a video game based on a barbarian.
yeah.
That I feel like that would transfer pretty well to like the action game genre.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily have to be Conan, right? But like, I mean, I feel like there's worse source material to make a video game out of. Like for example, like
Just for example, Truck Simulator.
Sure. Bible adventures.
look, man,
VeggieTales.
like you say Truck Simulator, but like
I haven't played it. I
Don't-
don't know.
haul one load, and then tell me what you think after that. After you deliver that load, tell me how you feel after
I'll
that.
deliver that load.
I feel like the Truck Simulator games are the only game in my Steam library where my playtime is actually accurate. Considering like how much that time is like how much that time is me like driving long stretches of road for like 2 hours at a time.
Yeah. Screw that.
Whereas other games are very much me like getting distracted by Netflix.
I still do think we should do our Truck Simulator road trip stream.
I mean,
Get some snacks and put the radio on.
I mean, we could do it.
We could also just go on an actual road trip like we've been talking about and go to pinballs.
Well,
I mean, you're the one who's like,
today,
you're the one who said you drive. Like, we're waiting
You
on
want
you,
to do it
man.
next week?
I'm busy next week.
You want to do it the week after?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do it.
In 2 weeks. We
Tuesday.
heard it.
We'll go to pinballs.
We'll go to pinballs.
With a pocket full of quarters and a heart full of dreams, right?
Yeah, and beers.
What is it? Just a pinball
They have,
emporium?
It's an arcade, dude.
Okay.
yeah, but and it's BYOB, so we're gonna stop by my favorite local gas station that has all these amazing
You have a
selection
favorite
beer.
gas station?
In Austin, yes.
Okay.
It's called the Sun Mart. I forget which road it's on, but they have an amazing.
Some favorite. You don't even know where it's at.
I know how to get there from
Sinead,
pinballs.
you are such an interesting person. I have never met anyone who had a favorite gas station before.
No, you got all these fucking idiots here that love Buc-ee's, you know.
Ugh.
I've never been to a Buc-ee's before.
You're not missing much.
The first time I went there, I was very tired and cranky, and it was very overwhelming.
Yeah.
I was like, "There's so much."
Like,
I'm
is it
fuck
just
this
like
shit.
is it just like a Walmart of gas stations?
It's basically just a big ass gas station, yeah.
It has like a deli section and just like all these like plethora of snacks, like every flavor of Doritos that they've ever invented since 1982.
I also like the fact that Tom referred to them as all these idiots.
But yeah, no, but yeah,
I'll go to pinballs. I'd like to. It's been a long time since I've been to an arcade. That'd
and
be
one that
fun.
you can drink at.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to play some actual pinball though. 'Cause I haven't played on an actual pinball table.
I'm actually pretty
in,
good at
like,
pinball.
Since I was a kid, I think. You're actually good at pinball?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that.
No, Berto's always surprised whenever we go to a pinball machine, and he's just like he just gets done immediately, and I'm like, all right, and he'll
You
be
probably do that pelvic thrust thing that me and Tom tell you not to do when you're playing it.
like, no, I just get like, I don't know, I play the Space Cadets pinballs.
That doesn't count. There's
For-
no actual physics. Like there's
No, I'm
yeah.
just joking because
You're talking about the Windows pinball?
Yeah. I was just joking around about that.
That's good pinball though.
But
Well, you can play it again now.
we would go to the bowling alley on base all the time, and they had a pinball machine there, and so I don't know. I've always played a lot of pinball games. Yeah.
Pinball is funny because it's one of those things that people are like, oh yeah, I'm really good at pinball or I'm really bad at pinball. And it's like, you know, you have to learn a table, right? Like you have to learn what the objectives are before you can say,
We
like,
played pinballs FX.
Right.
And I did okay.
yeah, you don't just like jump in and like
Is
automatically.
that the one
you're
that's
good
the
at
real
tables.
tables?
No, FX is now Zen Pinball. Is the fake tables, the tables that couldn't actually exist.
Yeah,
Pinball
no,
arcade is the real
there's
one?
definitely
Arcade is a real one.
There's
yeah.
definitely some ones that I'm better at than others. Like,
But like the ones that you are good at are probably ones that you've played before. Is what I'm saying.
Like
Yeah.
the South Park one is probably one of the better ones I'm at.
Yeah.
They have like a 10-foot by like 5-foot giant pinball machine
Mm.
that I'm not good at.
Well, it's like video games, right? Like people say, "Oh, like I'm good at video games." Like you're not just good at all video games. Like you're not good at all pinballs. You know, like there's specific ones that I'm sure you're great at. You know.
I remember being okay at the Terminator 2 table.
Yeah.
The plunger was a trigger. So that was neat.
There's certain things like, specifically with Bally's, but even some of the other ones like flippers and bottom bumpers are set at a specific distance from each other instead of the same angles across tables.
Right.
That doesn't go for all pinball tables, but for a lot of them, right? So like if you can swap hands on one, you can probably do it on the others.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would like to own a pinball table one day.
yeah.
It'll probably never happen because they're really expensive and they take up a lot of space. But
That new
The
Ghostbusters one.
table space hard to move. But these, yeah.
and also I feel like it's really expensive to maintain them.
Yeah.
So I don't want to deal with that.
Well, look, I mean, you could say all those same things about pianos, and lots of people have pianos. So,
I own a piano.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and go ahead and end the show because I have somewhere to be right now.
Vermintide.
I have to go to Vermintide and kill the Rat King.
Ryan wants to play some Verm.
I'm gonna play some Verm.
Verm it up.
Yep, I'm gonna Verm it up and kill the rats. As always,
Dude, they should have Rat King DLC for that, though.
why don't they?
Right?
I feel like it's
They
a
hate
That'd be
life.
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like Rat
But,
King
like-
and Willard. Put them both in there.
Like, but
Which Rat King though? The Rat King from the Nutcracker?
no, the rat
full
from Ninja Turtles.
I'm just saying, there's a bunch.
Nutcracker.
There's a bunch of Nutcracker.
Says the girl who gave us candy with vegetables in it.
When did I do that?
That's true, you did do that. You gave us chocolate that had vegetables in it. You're like, you guys are gonna love this.
Vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was gross. Anyway, as always, thank you once again for joining us on the Save Continue podcast. It's always a pleasure sharing conversations with you. My name is Ryan Robinson. That's Shanae Howard.
Bye guys.
Tom Shelby.
Bye bye.
See you next week. Vegetables. The chocolate.